Now, a lot of y'all be asking me about a podcast. Do I have a podcast? And I'm going to start a podcast. And here it is. I've been having a podcast with Wondery. What's going on with this box right here? Wondery sent me a nice little box for, the holidays. Got a little card right here. It says 2024 has been a tremendous year for Wondery. And we're so grateful for all our terrific partners. News shows, products, and partnerships have helped us elevate our brand and continue to deliver our mission to inspire a lifetime of listening one podcast at a time. As we look ahead to the future, we recognize the value and importance of our work together. We couldn't accomplish all that we have without your partnership, inspiration, and collaboration. We look forward to growing our partnership in this coming year. Thank you for joining us in this journey, continuing to shake the culture with us. Please enjoy this gift to celebrate the incredible year, and cheers, Jen Sargent. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Wondery, man. I've had a great experience in being Black History for Real podcast with my co-host Franchesca Ramsey. The first series we got into was Black Panthers, man, the women of the Black Panther Party. We got into, the queer nature of the Renaissance movement, how trifling W.E. Du Bois was. You know what I'm saying? We got into Mansa Musa. We didn't got into Pele. We didn't really got into a lot of different things, man. So you Wondery right there too. Let's see what they got for you, boy, man. This podcast journey, I say, has been an interesting one because the podcast genre has become so saturated that it's hard to really make yourself stand out, you know what I'm saying? But I'm very proud of this podcast because it's not just talking heads where we're talking about who should sit in the front seat, the back seat, you know what I'm saying? Your mama, your grandma, your daddy, them, you feel me? We don't talk about who should eat first, your mama, you know what I'm saying? Your husband, your kids. Like, we leave that to the red pill people. We have critical conversations about history, where it's a scripted podcast. We got researchers, we got producers, we got sound effects, we got all that. You got a clip right here. Genealogy of the Black upper class going all the way back to the plantation. A lot of the Black wealth in this country can be traced back to the families that was able to kind of get some mobility during Reconstruction. There are particular concerns that different socioeconomic backgrounds that Black folks have, and being somebody from the bottom, it kind of leaves us a nasty sour taste in my mouth.
Everybody wants to be better than somebody else. White people are still seeing you as Black. Oh, yeah. So having a degree or having this kind of amount of money or driving this kind of car or talking this certain way, none of that makes you better than anybody else. There are a lot of people who have advanced degrees and are not very smart. There are lots of people who live in big fancy houses and have low morals and are not good people. What you have does not determine whether you are better than anybody else.
What the hell is this? I have no idea what this is. Is it a cutting board? It say Wondery on it though. But the point of this video is to educate y'all on the podcast that I have called Black History for Real. That's powered by Wondery, owned by Amazon. You know what I'm saying? It's been a cool relationship. First season is done. We got like 50 episodes available now on a Wondery Plus app, as well as, YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. I had the opportunity to do a interview with Nick Cannon as being a part of Wondery. Shout out to, the team playing Spades. Been able to do a lot of different appearances this year, different other podcasts. Been able to go to the Amazon headquarters a few times this year. That was cool. Here goes the first video I made about ever being on the podcast, Black History for Real. Look how excited I was. Check the clip out. Yes, and there's none of that stale, flavorless, unseasoned podcast business either. The number 14th ranked history podcast on Spotify, thanks to all the people to support when I made the announcement originally. And we currently the number 29th podcast in history on Apple. You see what I'm saying? The folks over at The Guardian even said that we were one of the best podcasts of the week in the month of February. Here's what they said. Franchesca Ramsey and Conscious Lee go beyond Martin Luther King Jr. to shine a light on the lesser-known figures who've shaped Black culture with much fascinating discussion. Black History for Real is what the podcast is called. And we covered history of less-known figures and lesser-known events than people know about in mainstream or what you did in your core curriculum class. This article right here highlighted our first episode that was about Assata Shakur, one of the women of the Black Panther Party, that gets into our series about multiple women of the Black Panther Party, from Kathleen Cleaver to Afeni Shakur to Elaine Brown. Y'all should check it out. Whenever you see this artwork right here, just know you about to get some Black History for Real, man. Available on all podcast platforms, too. When you see me rocking the kufi, you feel me? Free Palestine. Shout out to all of the Palestinian artists too that been sending me stuff. You feel me? I seen somebody. I had this Palestinian dude write my name in the rubble in Gaza. Man. Then I had this other dude that's in Gaza write this dope ass make this poetry about me. History for Real season 2 is coming up. I'll try to do a better job at keeping y'all updated on when new episodes coming out. Man, episodes coming out all Monday. On Monday, we gonna be doing you a little road trip, man. Put on the podcast and listen to it, man. You know, we got multiple series over 50 episodes. It's scripted, so it ain't just me rambling and off top of the head. It's like, you know what I mean? But we do got some conversations though that's just candid improvisational as well. But scripted podcast, man.
It's very interesting to me how the concept of guilt gets convoluted when you put the word white in front of it. In every other instance, being guilty or saying you're guilty or acknowledging guilt, it's a sign of responsibility. It's a sign of accountability. It's a sign of culpability. It's a sign to want to move forward. It's just wild to me that when you throw white in front of guilt, all of a sudden it's like, now I don't know about that because I didn't own these slaves. And it's like, well, damn, if you didn't own these slaves. But listen, you do not want to be blamed for what your ancestors did.
But you reap the benefits. I've used the analogy of like talking about The Sopranos, for example, that like Tony Soprano was killing people, and these are not spoilers. He was a killer, and his wife, Carmela, she knew he was a killer, but she wasn't doing anything to stop it, but she was reaping the benefits. She was living in a beautiful house and was going shopping and getting her hair and her nails done and driving a nice car and all of that stuff. And so in the same way, it's like white supremacy functions in that same way. You are reaping the benefits in the same way that you're talking about when we're seen as guilty or we're seen as accomplices.
Black is beautiful. Things we discussed in the podcast has been identity in terms of like Afro-Latina, the South, Southern Black people, Northern Black people, Middle Eastern Black, Midwestern Black people. I said Middle Eastern. We might start getting to that though. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Afro-Palestinians, man. We got into church hurt. We've got into, you know what I'm saying, we had a series about the Black senators, Kamala Harris and Obama, seeing that Kamala Harris used to have a staunch position on the death penalty. We were doing an episode, it was around the time I was experiencing the backlash for everybody being mad, saying what old girl said about Marcellus Williams, Khalifa. And it made me think about how much our world has folded in to just thinking about who has hypervisibility and not thinking about who got hyperpower. You know what I'm saying? So you're just thinking about how Kamala Harris was able to climb the California ladder and being against the death penalty. And then when she got to a certain place, she had to get certain type of, support. So she went doing it. I'm like, look at this. Wondery sent something else too. Let's see if this go to that. I'm about to cut the video, man. Look at that. They sent me a bag, you know what I'm saying? And the bag came with stuff in it. You feel me? A box came in a bag. They came with 2 other things. What is this? Okay, Wondery bag, right? Let's see what y'all got for me. Yeah, that's definitely a cutting board. And these are knives. Right. These is like golden knives. That's dope, actually. That's smooth. A cutting board and knife, man. Cutting edge, man. I had a cutting edge podcast with the Wondery. Shout out to the Wondery team. Season 2 is going to be smoking like a turkey. I want to load these clips up, man. Shout out to people team at Wondery. It's a great podcast. Link in the bio, man, or link in the description for the merch. You feel me? Link in the description for the merch right here. I'm on the same podcast, right? Wondery, so y'all don't know. So y'all know, Wondery is one of, I feel like one of the top producers of, you know what I'm saying, podcasts right now. But on the Wondery network, Jason and Travis Kelce, they have a show on Wondery. We got the Kiki Palmer show that's also on Wondery. I'm still waiting and hoping to be a guest on this show right here. I just know me and Kiki Palmer have some amazing magic on camera, you know what I'm saying? I also got the podcast with, you know what I'm saying, Nick Cannon, you feel me? I was able to be on that podcast. Shout out to Nick Cannon, cool dude, very, very cool dude, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to him for showing some courage and coming out with this narcissistic diagnosis and telling everybody about it, man. Rooting for you, Nick. We also got the podcast. They had a little deal too with the Will Smith. This is also, they got some of like leading history podcasts up here. Here go one right here. And I'm sorry to my editor. I know I'm making it hard. I'm making extra work for you.
I'm the best there is, plain and simple. Yeah, it's easy.
But I have to do it, man.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I want to show y'all a little of my art. A little of my art on my wall. You feel me? I'm proud of that right there. Again, shout out to Wondery, man. Hope y'all are having an amazing time. Go check out the podcast. Tell me what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? It's been real.